How do you pack for weeks, months, or a whole year abroad? It's actually a lot easier than it seems. You just can't expect to take your entire closet with you. The less that you take, the easier your journey will be. Planning ahead will help you pack as effectively as possible.
The first thing to consider is your airline's baggage allowance and fees. Most airlines charge fees for checked bags, so the less you check, the more you save. Also, consider the airline's weight restrictions. Airlines will charge extra for bags that are too heavy, so be careful not to pack your bag too full if you think you may want to bring back souvenirs from abroad. Those will take up space and weight on the journey home. So if you're planning on bringing any liquids like shampoo, toothpaste, sunscreen or lotion, don't forget the Transportation Security Administration's 3-to-1-to-1 liquid rule. You're allowed to bring only one small bag of liquids, aerosols, gels, creams and paste through the checkpoint at airports. These are limited to 3.4 ounces or less per container. The items must all fit into 1 quart size clear plastic zip-top bag, and remember, only 1 bag of liquids is allowed per passenger. If you want to carry more liquids, you should pack them in your checked bag, but pack them carefully as airplane cabin pressure has a tendency to explode shampoo bottles in suitcases, and you don't want to have to clean up a big mess on your first day in your host country.
Speaking of your bags, consider carefully what you pack in your carry-on bags. If your bags get delayed, or worse, lost, you will at least have your carry-on bags with you until your luggage arrives at your final destination. So it's important to strategically pack your carry-on bags for survival. You might need a change of clothes, all of your important documents like your insurance, your ID card, your passport, and money, and necessary valuables that you can't leave at home like electronic items. Essentials like properly labeled legal medications in the original prescription container, preferably with a doctor's note. Instructions from your professor or program for your arrival so you can get to where you need to be when the flight arrives. And a good book, some healthy snacks, and some earphones can get you a long way too. And obviously your toothbrush. Avoid packing anything that can be considered a weapon. Knitting needles, sewing scissors, and even toenail clippers can be considered dangerous on a flight.
Don't put valuables in your checked bag because many other hands will be on your bags between the time that you check them in and pick them up at the baggage claim at your final destination. Unfortunately, you just can't trust that something won't happen to your belongings when they are not in your sight. Never pack money, valuable electronics, or valuable jewelry in your checked bags. You might think that locking your bags is a good solution to protecting your belongings while your bags are in transit, but we don't recommend it. Here's why. TSA agents and airline officials may break the locks if they feel they need to inspect the interior of your bags, and you don't want to end up with busted luggage and locks at the start of your journey. If you have locks, pack them in your bags and use them once you've arrived within your accommodation. And don't pack anything that would catch the attention of security agents or canines, or something that would tempt someone to steal it. If you're an old school photographer, don't ever pack your film in your checked bags either, because the magnetized X-ray machines may erase your images. Always be prepared for the worst case scenario of your bags being delayed or lost. Take a photo of your bag before checking it. Know how to describe it by size, color, shape, material, content, and be sure to label your bag both inside and out. If your bag looks like everyone else's, that is a mid-size black rolling fabric suitcase, put something on the outside of your bag so it's easy to identify, like a ribbon or a colorful tag.
Another way to plan ahead is to consider the weather. Learn about the local climate and seasons. Check the weather forecast. Layers are always helpful if you're not exactly sure what the weather is going to be like. And don't forget to plan for snow or rain. Also consider whether you'll participate in activities that require special clothing like swimming. Don't forget to pack the sunscreen if you're going somewhere warm. Sunscreen can often be very expensive to buy overseas, so stocking up at home and packing it in your checked bags is a very smart move.
Are you prepared for the difference in electricity in your host country? Chances are you will need to buy an outlet adapter and/or a converter so you can plug in your devices when you're abroad. An adapter should make it possible for you to easily recharge your phone, tablet, or laptop battery, but as for other less expensive appliances like electric shavers and hairdryers, we recommend that you consider buying them from your host country, because number one, so you don't have to lug it with you from afar, and number 2, so it doesn't blow the fuse and fry, which is likely to eventually happen. Do you know whether linens will be provided to you abroad? Does your program's accommodation provide towels, sheets, washcloths and a pillow, or will you have to bring them or buy them upon arrival? Ask your professor, study abroad advisor or on-site staff what you'll need to bring so you don't overpack or feel unprepared.
When you prepare to pack your clothes, here's a useful tip. Rolling your clothes, it really does work. It saves a lot of space. So try packing this way if you already don't. Before you start putting it into your luggage, you can lay everything out. Let's be honest, if you're traveling for up to 2 weeks, you could do with just a carry-on. Think about it. Do you really wear everything in your closet all the time? It's more likely that you wear only a small portion of your closet and rotate items every 2 to 3 weeks. You only need to pack for 2 to 3 weeks, even if you're traveling abroad for a year.
As you pack your clothes, think about what your clothes say about you. Remember that tourists are often targets for theft and other unwanted negative attention, so anything that screams, "I'm an American," would be better left at home. The goal is to blend in as best as possible. A few items we recommend you avoid include hoodies, sweatpants, white sneakers, shorts, clothing with sports teams logos, backpacks, and items that feature the American flag, and university gear. It's not that we don't want you to be proud to represent the US or VCU while you're abroad, it's just that we don't want you to stick out like a sore thumb so that you might be targeted in some way. Also, be conscious of the local culture and consider what is and isn't acceptable socially and culturally in your destination. This is especially important when visiting places of worship. If you're unsure what is acceptable or not, ask your study abroad advisor or on-site staff or faculty leader.
If you're thinking of bringing a bag or a purse without a zipper, think again. You'll be 10 times more likely to be targeted by pickpockets if you carry a wide open tote. When studying abroad, you're likely to do a lot of walking, more than you're accustomed to in Richmond, so take your best Nikes. Here's another tip. For longer trips, you might want to consider leaving your clothes at the end of it. You might consider donating to charity or hostel or co-op.
Last but not least, you might consider packing a small gift from home, especially if you will be staying with a host family. Virginia-themed gifts, think peanuts and cheese straws, or even VCU gear, will delight your hosts and new friends. It is very likely that they will also present you with something at some point, and you don't want to be left empty-handed.